Hey guys, a very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. So starting off with Euro USD here on the daily time frame. So euro against the dollar. Overall, the daily is bearish from this swing high in towards this swing low. We saw the pullback in towards the highs, after which we saw that downtrend initiate, which was perfectly in line with our vision. So a high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We were expecting obviously this over here to be our new lower high before then setting in the trend, which would continue further in towards the downside. However, what you're currently seeing is that the market is pushing up slightly higher. A main reason for this obviously is fundamentally, but also if we just look at the overall order flow and momentum, we can see that we've had a very bullish week last week. Now, or even for the past 2 weeks actually. Now, this was pretty much a very important area of supply, and we did in fact expect a further push in towards the downside. However, it now seems that with this bullish momentum, we are going to start grabbing the liquidity, which is resting above this trend line. So above the highs of this overall trend line, that is where all the stop losses lie. So obviously what we can see is that we have already yesterday or early this morning taken out that swing high over here of this lower high. We've even seen a candle close above the high. Now that could indicate that we're just ready to start pushing up even higher, potentially, for example, in towards this weekly and daily area of supply here at the top. Okay, so how do we know that this is going to happen? When do we know that this is going to happen? Well, it's all dependent on this area of demand over here. This area of demand has something called a fractal low. That's the low of this bullish candle. If that low is to hold, we are going to see higher prices. If that low breaks, then I will be looking for some further downside. Okay, now going in towards the 4 hour over here, and as you can see, I have quite a lot of zones here drawn on the 4 hour, but I'm going to keep it as simple as I can. So on the 4 hour here, if we just quickly, or not let's say quickly, but let's just simply look at market structure, okay? And then let's say recent price action, because the overall swing is still the same as the daily from this high in towards this low. But as we can see, we have an uptrend, we have a downtrend, now we have an uptrend. So just focusing purely on the structure which we have in front of us here on the 4 hour, then what you can very obviously see is a low, lower low, then a high and a lower high. So what happened over here is that we broke this lower high, meaning at that point in time, we flipped bullish here internally. Now, what do you expect after a break of a structural high, especially when we're coming in towards, let's say, daily liquidity, right? This is a daily liquidity high. And also still there is going to be some supply above or inside of these supply zones. Despite us, for example, even spiking through an area of supply, it doesn't mean that the market then is just going to rocket up. It can still reverse in towards the downside again. Just keep that in mind. Now, on the 4 hour, after seeing a break of structure, we expect a pullback. So when do we expect a pullback? When we enter, let's say, an area of supply over here, and when we see a shift in the overall market structure. So what I'm looking at the moment is if we're going to be able to break this fractal low on the 4 hour, then a pullback, and then a push down deeper into, for example, this area of demand, or even lower to start grabbing the liquidity, which is resting beneath all of these lows. Okay, so that's what I'm now looking at the moment. If this area of demand holds, then obviously we're going to look for long. If it breaks, then definitely going to look for some more shorts in towards the downside, because it could indicate that the correction is now happening. Just quickly going in towards the 15-minute last of all. Over here on the 15, we grab the liquidity and then we reverse in towards the downside. Yeah, I mean, again, any longs that you want to take, because at the moment we're in the middle of the range. This is the range high, this is the range low over here. So meaning that you're pretty much here at the 50% mark of the range. So this is where you do not want to be trading. You want to be trading inside premium, so from this supply zone in towards the downside, or inside discount, and that is long from the lows over here. Okay, so this is where you want to be trading from. You don't want to be trading in the middle of the range. So yeah, just waiting for us to move to either side. So let's say we move up, then we could get a potential short. If we start moving down, then we have a potential long on our hands until we start breaking the low, which I showed you guys on the 4 hour. Now, going in towards the 4 hour here on the dollar index, overall, not much to be said. What I'm waiting for actually is, okay, this is the fractal low, meaning this is now the fractal high. So I'm waiting for that high to go, and then we're going to start looking for longs on the dollar index. Until then, we're still just bearish, and this is still supply. As simple as that, not going to really overcomplicate it. We're kind of here in the extreme of, let's say, from this low in towards this high. meaning that if we go back in towards the 4 hour and we want to now see, let's say, that further upside movement with the bearish momentum or with the bullish momentum, we want to kick out this high and then look for those longs. Going in towards AUD USD here on the daily. So on the daily, we're nearing an area of supply, or actually we're inside a very strong area of supply. So from here, we could potentially start seeing a short. So either from here, I want to see some further downside movement, or from that liquidity high. If we break this supply zone, then obviously we're going to hit that liquidity high. Now going into the 4 hour, what are we seeing? Okay, so 4 hour overall is still bullish. I'm just going to focus on recent price action. So 4 hour BOS in towards the highs. What do you expect after BOS? You expect a correction. This is the swing low, this is the swing high. So we're currently obviously inside premium. So you want to start trading back down towards, let's say, the 50% mark and below. So at the moment, definitely waiting for a downside correction. Highest probability correction would come if we just push in towards that supply zone over here. And then this becomes, for example, the fractal low, and then we look for that short in towards the downside. Okay, so that is what I'm looking for on Aussie dollar. For the rest, not much potential shorts coming up. Pound dollar is inside daily supply, so pretty much like the overall external structure, swing structure, whatever you want to call it, is bearish. So from this high in towards this low, but the daily internal structure is bullish, guys. So we've just seen a daily BOS over here. And we're now inside a strong area of daily supply, and we have this supply or this supply. So looking from here for a potential short. Going in towards the 4 hour, we can see bullish momentum is extremely strong. When am I going to be looking for potential shorts? That is when we break this fractal low over here. So that is kind of like an internal low. If that low goes, then I'll be looking for a short. Okay, real quick, go to the left and we look for old supply. Then we have a very clear buy before the sell over here. So this is a potential supply zone. Then we go back to the right, and what do we see? We see that we're inside that supply zone. So yeah, if we want the supply zone to play out, we need to see structural change and confirmation that supply is valid. Okay, otherwise just keep on longing from this sell for the buy with momentum in towards the highs, because yeah, bullish momentum is still strong. Going in towards Kiwi dollar, so NZDUSD, a very rangy pair, one of my least favorite at this point in time. Overall bearish, swing high, swing low. We pulled back in towards the 50% mark. So let's just draw in premium versus discount. So yeah, you can see we ran into the 50% mark. From there we sold off. At the moment, just ranging in between kind of like this supply zone over here and this demand zone over here. It's just moving up, down. So not really focusing on this pair at the moment. Going into gold. So gold is looking good for a correction. So overall, very quickly, structure drawn in. Swing break in towards the upside. Swing break in towards the downside. Swing break. This was the swing break over here. This was a swing break. This was a swing break, and this was a swing break. So at the moment, we are bullish on the 4 hour, meaning that you want to see a deeper correction. Definitely at least come for this liquidity low. Let's say this is the swing low, this is a swing high. That would mean that this is your swing range. That means that there is still room for price to fall down. Okay, so you want to see the market come back down in here in towards 23.80. So this morning you could look for a potential short before looking for any potential longs. So now we have kind of like this internal structure here. Let's see if we get some momentum in towards the downside. That would be nice. For the rest, potential longs from that area of 4 hour demand, which I just highlighted. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day, and we'll speak soon.